other than the person who is building this currently, I don't think anybody else at the shop plays her currently. I can't really think of anybody who has the deck. Like, we understand how stupid the deck is. But, there's a million ways you could take this commander. Like, literally a million.
So
Like,
I'm
every non-creature spell, like, in the game can be used to build for this commander. And,
is it?
that's Elsha.
At first I was gonna say, is it a 5-color deck?
No, it's not, no.
A Jeskai. We haven't built a Jeskai deck yet on here.
No. So, she's Future Sight,
Yep.
right? But she also gives them flash, and you don't have to reveal the top card. So she does just win with Sensei's top and a mana reducer. Just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's just game. You destroy your whole library, and she gets infinite prowess triggers. So, do we want to take it in that direction? I think I'd want to do like a... I know we've done it a million times, but the person who's doing it is making instant sorcery tribal.
Spellslinger, let's go.
But the coolest part about it, Derek, is we get to run. You ready?
Stormkiln artist and make treasures.
No.
We get to run solve the equation.
We're gonna run Stormkiln. No, I wish I could fucking play this. This is such a good win condition.
Approach the second sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Oh, good. Are you kidding me? Oh, this is great. All right, what are we naming her?
Elsha of the Infinite. Vision Monk. With prowess. It has future sight as its ability.
It's got a flat. It's also like a mini ley line.
Oh, that's right, because we get to make sorceries at instant speed. That's gross.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why she's so fucking stupid. She's a card advantage outlet that also gets to just play things, quickly. So we can either make a storm deck, which I don't think I want to do. I think it's just a value deck. We have Izzet, so we have the colors we need to win, really. Mm-hmm. Like, Izzet is really good when it comes to these, types of decks.
But it'd be so easy to make a... Oh, okay.
Mark, you could also make the artifact version of this deck. There's an enchantment version of this deck. Like, she can also be an enchantress. Like, she just does everything.
Yeah, because it says non-creature, non-land.
Yeah.
But we want to do it Spellslinger, right?
Yes, Spellslinger, because that's how the person's doing it. So I want to show them, our rendition.
But
we also did Yarok for him, and he actually won a game. He actually won finally with Yarok with our build.
Oh yeah.
Last Friday, yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. I'm glad our build was able to get to etch out a win.
Fully done yet, but it did make him take out the stacks cards and the hate cards, which I think just that alone, and like all the group hub cards, made people less likely to just murder him. So, because when I see those kind of cards, I just go after that player. And then I'm going to play my deck, like, I have decks that are made to play against players who are playing decks like that. Like, I don't like playing against cards like that, but, like, if I don't have other options available to play with, then I will pull out my decks to play against that. Rubina gets to come in and just, smack some bitches around. But, okay, so what are we thinking about this? Them horns, though.
Unsolicited top deck. I don't know.
What about hold on. What about like
flashing my deck? I'm just flashing my dick. Always, mate. That's you dick seal it.
Sorry.
Everybody wants on my dick. My dick. I love that commercial with like the New Zealand or whatever guy like selling like deck stuff. Come on.
Yes.
Oh, now I can't keep the kids off my dick.
Okay. she's a degenerate commander.
Yep.
Like, this is probably the best Storm commander ever created.
Do we want to build it Storm?
No, we're not doing it.
All right.
No, we're doing like a fair, so we can go through. Ooh, that's got to be wrong. No, damn it, not what I meant to do. Jesus.
Yeah.
Price difference. All
Um.
right, so we'll just get through this. So Talrand, we'll get through the payoffs first. Talrand, the guy that you said, the
Storm Kiln
dude,
Artist, Archmage. We get to run Archmage, and I love him so much. God, he's
Archmage Emeritus.
yeah. Oh,
Shark Typhoon.
Tom, real quick, while you're doing this, so you want to listen to this degeneracy I did with tribal wizards. So I have Leyline in play, and the thing that makes wizards cost less, and the blue medallion that makes blue spells cost one less. So I go cast Nykthos at the end of before my turn. Cast Cyclone Summoner, which is Cyclonic Rift as the wizard for wizard spells. So my wizards and lands play. So I pick back my artifacts and my enchantment. Then I'm like, okay, with the Nykthos, with like the 12 other floating mana, I'm gonna cast was it the buyback bounce card to put Cyclone Summer back into my and then and buy back it. They go to my turn, untap, play another creature, tap all my wizards, draw a cards. Then it was like, okay, at the end of the turn, after like no one did anything, I'm like Nykthos, I'm gonna get Gaddock for or Gadwick for 14.
Ew.
And then tap them, so I draw 15 cards, and then everyone just scooped. Oh, we have that new one we get to play. I forgot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yo, I got a game where I have to play her. She's real cool.
Also, the making the tokens unblockable is kind of cute.
Yeah.
I like that because we make a lot of tokens. Like,
so,
if you have her and Shark Typhoon
Tom,
out,
solve the equation.
Yeah, solve the equation.
Solve the equation.
The question is, are we gonna play the combo?
Which combo?
Like, I'm trying to think of a card that would be good because there is one, but the problem is it helps out opponents also, which is the Helm that makes all cards cost one less. Because if you play that plus Sensei's Top, you draw your library.
No, Tom.
You need a win condition.
We have you play Birgi. It's not a reducer, but every time we technically cast it for the first time, we make the 1 mana. So then we sack it, put it on top, use the 1 mana from Birgi to replay it, which makes a red mana. So Birgi is a pseudo reducer if you've played 1 spell beforehand, because it covers 1 mana for the next spell.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that if we even want to play the. I'll just put the top in just because. I'm seeing if I'm missing.
Jace's Sanctum seems really good because you get to set up your top a little bit more. You get the scry one, so we don't like what's on top, and that's like one of the spell cards.
I do like that. I still play
that.
Hold on, the double. What's the buyback copy? Reiterate. I like the card a lot. Card's pretty busted.
Oh, Tom, you're also Kaikar. You want to talk about another payoff dude that we don't usually get to play?
Yeah, that one's really busted. That's the one that makes the spirits and can sack them for red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really strong.
Whirlwind
of Thought.
Whirlwind of Thought. I was just about to say it.
Like, oh, that
another
card. I wish I could play that card. Oh, it's so good. Look at this. It's so good.
Yep.
Oh my god, I wish I could play that card. We do have to be careful if we're gonna play combos to not kill ourselves with that.
There's
hold on. I'm looking at
Vega is another interesting one. It's not as good, but he's like that owl that whenever you play a spell anywhere from other than your hand, you draw a card. So, aka the top of your deck. Or we could also play Melik, the dude. Whenever you play the top card of your library, if it's under sorcery, you get to copy it.
I don't know.
But he seems more for like combo.
What about just like Young Pyromancer?
I guess if you want to play all the token makers, I just don't want to see too many of them. Because I also do like a Ral and Gutter Snipe are ways to kill people.
Yeah, Ral's Arc, yeah.
The Storm Conduit. No, it's Ral Storm Conduit. He's just whenever you cast a spell.
Is it not gonna come up?
It's just Ral, comma Storm Conduit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why they were like, screw his last name. I think. Do you want to run Brawl and Goblin Electromancer as reducers?
Oh, Swarm Intelligence.
Oh, I love Swarm Intelligence so much in these kind of decks.
I have the Brawl. What's up?
Oh, Electromancer, or is that too much?
Can I just get like one of the ice cream cone things?
Yeah, I want ice cream cone thing too.
Oh, you were messaging me. The chocolate one. The cone.
Yo, where's mine, Tom?
Good one. Yeah, Derek's asking where's his. He's very jealous.
I'm very jelly.
She said you can have one. So Primal Amulet.
Yeah, all the.
I ended up cutting Goblin Electrolancer from my build just because since Paco actually it's the same thing for Elsha, is because Elsha cares about the top you want to play as little creatures as possible. I just cut this for I play Jace's Sanctum, just the one Brawl and Primal Amulet, even though Primal Amulet flips eventually and is not, But I also play green, so my ramp is a trillion times
Yo,
better.
is this a deck where like cards like Serum Visions are actually good because we could like set up our top better? Because our top matters, so maybe like the draw scry actually becomes relevant.
Well, here's the thing though. Is the top would matter if we're trying to combo, but if we're just like a value deck, does it really?
And,
Or is it just another like option, right?
well, I think we set up the top for what we need it to be, kind of thing. We're like, okay,
Well
well,
then isn't this what this is for? And
true,
also Ral that rise?
but I guess it's also casting spells, which like, triggers lots of stuff.
And Jace's Sanctum? I think we might actually be pretty good on that,
Well, I'm saying we need spells like for triggering stuff, and having a spell that sets because we don't really care as much what the spells do with our payoffs, because the payoffs are like what's really strong, less than what the spells do, unless we have like the few few kick butt ones. But like,
Should we play like Morog? What do you think?
is that the landfall dude?
Yeah, that's the guy that if a land enters, you get to take extra combat.
No, what we do is we play every extra turn spell.
All right, I see where this is going.
It's not a combo.
Archaeomancer, fucking Ghostly Flicker, Paragon Drake. Oh, look where we are. The same
Yeah.
combo that we put it every fucking time.
Do we have Niv Mizzet in there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I put him in there. I always put him in Locust God. I just like them too, because just innately these kind of decks tend to draw a million cards, and I just like him a lot.
So then let's go for some good control spells, like stuff like Dovin's Veto. We get to play, but we don't normally get to play.
Ooh,
I like
good.
Dovin's Veto a lot. Straight counter spell. Don't like our counter package that we love.
Yep, counter spell. And then we play Disallow. Arcane Denial. Something else we don't get to play.
Render Silent.
Oh, Swords to Plowshare.
Oh, right.
Path to Exile.
We also get to run Return to Dust if they want to, or like Wear and Tear.
Generous Gift. I like Generous Gift better.
Oh,
what
yeah.
about Chaos Warp?
Yeah, do we? I guess. I don't know.
I feel like our removal's good, so
don't forget we're in white. White has like really good artifact enchantment removal, and blue and red can handle everything else.
What about this instead of the? I like this card better recently.
Oh yeah, that card's hella good.
It ends up being Return to Dust, but it doesn't exile them. Like I think that's fine. I mean, I mean, not to be that guy, but
I mean, look at the other cost of stuff in this deck. Why not? You want to run stuff like Rewind or Unwind?
Should we play our Archaeomancer? Oh, I like Unwind. What else? Oh, no, Fury Storm's not as good. What about this? What do you think about this?
Oh, I like Expansion Explosion. That becomes a combo too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking at Misty. Oh, Misty Confluence. I like that. Misty Confluence. The modal stuff. I like having options, and plus, it could, at worst, it's a draw 3 cards for us. Negate, reality shift. I'm just looking at stuff. Oh, Salinity Vision, my favorite card.
Do you want to run? Do you want to run Jessica's Will, or is that too much like try hard?
Jessica.
That's like the
Oh, that's the red one, right?
yeah. That thing's creeping up in price. I know Exile's the top, but
I feel like our blue cards are better, right?
maybe.
Unless you care about the
Oh,
mana.
do you want to run Deep Anal?
Oh yeah, and Chemister's Insight.
Oh yeah, I like
I like
Chemister's
both.
Insight. I mean, not
I
to
just like, yeah.
not to be that guy, but we could also run Teferi's Protection, and we have top in there.
Oh, dude, should we do the lock? Do you know the lock?
There's a lot of
Well,
them.
well, that involves Teferi's Protection. So you play this, right? And then you play this.
Oh, Narcissus Reversal. Yeah.
Yeah, on the Ice Cron with the Teferi's Protection. Also, we can return Teferi's Protection from exile in these colors. Like, there's that card that returns a spell from exile, right?
Yeah, but
It's like a.
it's a creature.
I don't know if we need to. I don't know if we need to play this, but I actually think it's kind of cute. But does it cast the card?
Yeah.
It does, right?
Yeah, so we get cast triggers.
It's not terrible, honestly. But the thing is like I guess 900% of the time it's gonna be like a path or like a counter spell, right?
Do you want to run Spellseeker, or is that just like you don't want to run any creatures?
Good. Oh, Seagate Restoration.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Spellseeker, huh? It's not terrible. I mean, that one's really good though.
But then again, we also just have a spell card that does it better. I think with solve the equation.
Is better. I also like Fact or Fiction.
Oh, I like Fact or Fiction. Do you
I
want?
just think that's always a good one.
You want to run do you have Mystic Confluence?
Should we play our
Yes.
Chaomancer, like, just because? You think?
No,
Okay.
because we're not blinking it, we put. Excuse me, as I'm dying. Mystic Retrieval is the spell version with flashback. Right at the bottom, you had it. Yeah, right there.
Wait, what? Wasn't there a commander? Wasn't there a commander that there's a deck that this came from that you were able to loot Mystic Retrieval?
I don't know.
Or there's a card that like brings something back from exile. I don't remember. Yeah, Mystic Retrieval's good.
Also, you want to run Mystical Tutor? Just it's a spell, gets us a spell.
On top.
Yeah.
That matters.
You know, this is kind of funny. Because we know what's on top, this actually makes God Eternal almost kind of cute.
Yeah, but it's only the first time we draw each turn. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like we do need to run some more of the draw spells because since he's not playing green, he doesn't just have a lot of innate spells he's going to actually cast on his turn. Now that I'm like kind of thinking about it. So I think we do need to run some of the lower, like, play like the, what's the one that you untap lands and you draw? Like, we should play some of those. Probably.
Oh, Frantic Search.
Maybe some of the cantrips, like you were saying, also. Like, this deck might just need them, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like,
Brainstorm also
it,
seems
like,
real.
Yeah, Brainstorm, yeah. Like just shit like that, because, like, you just need spells to play that you want to play in your turn, right? Like Ponder, right?
Well, you remember you can play them off your turn, too, with your commander. You get some flash.
If they're on the top, yeah. It only does
off
the top.
Yeah. So that's Ponder, Preordain, Serum Vision.
Yeah, we can play Serum. Wait, gotta get Preordain. I know that I don't usually like playing these, but considering that this deck isn't green, it doesn't have, like, ramp spells or, like, you know, just things to trigger our cards, you know? Like, we can just play more draw, and I think that this is the right direction for it. Oh, Double Vision. I like that. Double vision. This is good.
Do you want to run Path to Exile too?
I already put it in. I
Okay.
put in Path and Sword.
Yo, over double vision, I wouldn't you just rather pay one more mana for 1,000 Year Storm?
No, but that's for. Isn't that only for each?
It's Storm copy.
It's only for each when more cards are cast in a turn.
So it's like compared to you cast. So if you cast more than one card a turn, they start doubling. But 1,000 Year Storm starts becoming combo fodder. You put
Yeah.
1,000 Year Storm in, you realize how good it is, and you want to build around it.
So we got the preordained ponder. Hold on, serum vision.
Yeah.
I got the
Maybe even Opt is still
What was
good.
the other one? Frantic search. Yeah. Opt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Just to get the top cards off,
Mm.
because I think this deck just needs to play these. And look at all the payoffs we have for them.
That's what
Like
I'm
I
saying.
think
Yeah, that's what
they're
I was
gonna be
saying
good.
before. Is like we had like the spells themselves don't matter as much as like because our payoffs are what probably will end up winning.
Oh, that was so hard to find.
Did you? I forgot. Did you want to run Path to Exile? I forgot if I said it.
I already said. Yeah, I said I put it in.
Oh right. Sorry. Mission briefing.
Oh yeah, I like mission briefing.
Because it also is a weird way to set up the top two because we could surveil. I really like that card. I'm sad that it doesn't like it was so cheap. It seems like no one plays it.
What's the one that you could draw and discard a land?
Oh, um,
I'm just putting this in.
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
Thirst for no.
No, Thirst for Knowledge is artifact.
It's compulsive research.
Compulsive research.
I think that one's fine. Cause like you just kind of gotta play these, right?
I guess.
Because like I play green ramp, so that's the stuff that I usually play on my turn, and then also in my deck I get to run like Return of the Wild Speaker and Rishkar's expertise also because my creatures get so big. So like I have plenty of draw. Plus like my commanders are actual draw outlets, not just like you still have to pay. Well, I still have to pay the mana with my commanders, but
How much mana do you think we can make in this deck?
probably not a lot.
All right, then never mind. I don't. I was gonna say Epic Experiment seems cool, but then maybe not.
No, because if we're not playing all the ramp shit, or like the wills or anything like that, or like like mana geyser or anything like that, because since we're not green, like we're not copying any ways to like really generate value like that, other than the storm kiln and the Bergie, like, but that's Bergie's just for the turn, and like we're not always gonna see storm kiln.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have a consistent way to.
No. Remember, Birgi, the mana doesn't drain. That's what make the mana that Birgi makes doesn't end. Until that turn, you don't lose this. Oh, it's until the end of the turn.
Just through phases. Yeah, it's just through phases. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's not that insane. Hold on one sec. You think about it, I'll be right.
Drew said, what's like, howdy, hey, by the way, I love mission briefing. No one ever plays it. No rocks. We're not there yet first. So what we do when we're building these is we kind of get like the main engine, the main core of it and the important stuff first. Then we'll put in ramps. And then we kind of start trimming because we usually tend to go over on what we need for the deck. But we just like to put all of our options in. It's funny. It's like just when we built decks for real, we would tend to buy more cards than we really need for it, and then we would try things out and take some stuff out. And so yeah, we're probably gonna have to make some cuts from this afterwards. But how you doing, my dude? Thanks for tuning in and checking out the stream. Tom left me, so now I'm here talking to you by myself. How's life been treating you? Yeah, I'm okay. Figuring out how to get a new card like you just did. Well, you could do what I just did and say, well, take my here, like, hey, here's my wallet, and it's gone. Yeah, for anyone else watching, I got myself a Jeep, a Wrangler, and I am so in love with it. I'm just like, uh. Oh, look, it's Tom's back.
Hello.
Drew's on now. Say hi,
Oh, hey.
Tom.
Hi. What's up? This is the deck. We're building your deck right now.
Yo, don't get me wrong. Yo, the
Wait,
Kia.
dude, we're so look how cheap we are right
I
now.
know. Also, by the way, the Kia Soul is a quirky, fun, awesome little car. So don't be lame and
How
say the
are we
Kia Soul
so
is lame.
fucking cheap? We got a goddamn Teferi's protection and fucking Sensei stock.
Because that's really it. Tom, like, look at our creature count. Chloe just opened our door. Chloe. Because our creature count is cheap. Our sorcery, like, even our instants aren't that expensive.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people. Hello.
Yeah, so you know what it is, Tom? I think it's because like a lot of these spells and stuff that we're playing have gotten so many reprints now. Like, remember when Mystic Confluence was like a $20 card?
Same thing with this. This is $35.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of these got like it's funny is like even our most expensive cards are artifacts because Isochron, Primal Amulet, and Isochron Scepter are all expensive.
Are we actually gonna play this though? I think we
I,
could.
I mean, we could. We should also then run like the Untappy
Brains.
Boy. Oh, Tom, what do you think about See the Truth? This is only one
Well,
of those.
what are we gonna do with dramatic reversal? Is the thing.
We cast infinite spells and make infinite creatures because we do cast them.
Then what do we do?
Then we draw our whole deck and we pass turn, and then we tell our
Maybe.
opponent to deal with it.
Maybe. I mean, it works with this too, but we'll think about it.
I mean, if you just want to have the combo to win. Do you want to run a Vandal Blast? Because that's like it doesn't.
I like Vandal Blast.
So do I. I think it's a nice thing that we get to run. Where it's like it destroys all the artifacts that we don't control, and artifacts, as you know, become real powerful.
See, I'm just trying to make sure that we have stuff that we play on our turn. Also, that's good, and that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're light on the sorceries. Like if you look at my Paco deck, I'm playing 17 sorceries.
So Tom,
I'm also a green deck.
what do you think about Mix's Mastery? That's the Overload card that lets you cast every instant sorcery in your graveyard if you overload it.
Physics Mastery, and then it also just casts one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At worst, you get to cast one for free.
I like that.
Um,
I mean, that's probably not going to be that good, to be completely honest.
Probably not, but
Because there's a lot of counter spells and interaction, but we'll see.
Oh, so you want to run? This is actually a land. It's Ameria's Call. It's the one that makes angels, or it's just a white land.
I like that because we can copy it, right?
Yeah, because it is a sorcery.
Right?
Yep.
Not Eldom. What you doing?
Yeah, there it is. Wait, it's the it's the two-faced. Because that's the white two-faced card. Because either that or it's just 3 life to be a white source.
This deck price is actually pretty down right now. And we have the mystical. Did we put mystical tutor in?
Yeah.
We did.
You know what? Mystical tutor, because anything that has like the blank in front of it doesn't add its price. So like, if
Wait, where's mystical tutor?
right there. So see how it's not. It doesn't show. It only shows the card kingdom price. So if you scroll up, you'll see how it's up probably a bunch.
This is cool though. All this shit's cheap.
You want to run Jeskai Ascendancy?
That untaps everything, right?
Yeah, it untaps all your creatures. They get +1/+1, which is actually could be really good with our tokens. And it's you draw a card, and if you do, discard a card.
Oh man. If we were going Storm, Chandra's Ignition would be a really fun.
Yeah, what about Saheeli Sublime Artificer? Because that's basically another, when you recast something, you get a 1/1 servo. But it's also because it itself is a non-creature spell, our commander can play it. It's a Saheeli Sublime. It's HAE. SAE. Yeah. Her. Because I'd rather her over like one of the creature versions, just because she is in theme with the deck by being a non-creature spell. That wore the spark art though. Because I'd rather her over like young pyromancer.
What about like extra combat stuff? Like
Uh,
a relentless assault, or like,
we could do that.
you know, if we're gonna make like a million tokens, like I don't know. I'm just thinking like one of those might be cute. I'm just trying to think of which one's the best one. Because there's relentless assault. I should just Google it. I only play relentless assault and Morog in my one deck, but Morog's busted when you're playing green.
Yeah, because you get all the extra land drops. We don't really get them here.
Extra combat. I know that there's a busted enchantment, but you have to pay like 5 mana. There's one that combos with Sword of Feast and Famine. Okay. There's Seize the Day. I think Seize the Day is the. No,
We
that's not the
seize
one
the
creature.
day. Sorry, Avenge just kicked it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Here's the busted one. Aggravated Assault.
yeah, that's the
That
good
one.
one.
There's okay. Here's one with Rebound. After the first pre-combat main phase this turn, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. At the beginning of that combat, untap all creatures. It is Rebound. World at War. Aggravated Assault is the busted one because that combos with a bunch of cards. Then there's Breath of Fury. Enchant creature you control. Whenever enchant creature deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice. No, I don't like that. Can't play Nagila. Combat Celebrant's a creature. Scourge is a creature. Savage Beating. This is an instant. Only during your turn and only during combat. Choose one. Creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. Entwine. Or untap all creatures you control. And after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. That sounds kind of fucking good. Savage Beating. This seems kind of good, right? Look at that price. Hold on. Damn it.
Good job, Tom.
I think we're good.
Yeah, because I don't think we put it in yet. Savage Beating. It's still there.
Yeah, look at this one. This looks pretty good.
So either give him for 5 mana, we can either give him double strike or do both. I think it's good.
Yeah, for 5 mana, I like that. It's like a pseudo win con. So there's Nahet. Can't play that. Relentless Assault. Could play Relentless Assault. What's this one? Oh, here's a one with Retrace. I like that.
Oh, so we just discard a land to keep casting it.
It's I couldn't play this one because it's got white, but this deck can play it.
Oh wow,
Dude, I bet all the taking extra turn spells are so expensive.
they
I
are.
bet Aggravated is like $1 million. Do you like this card? I think
Yeah,
this is good.
you know what's cool?
Also, remember how big Elsha can get sometimes.
Yeah. Also, the way I'm thinking about it, like if we have any like if we have what's his dude, like all the draw people when you cast spell stuff, we could potentially fill up our hand and we could keep retracing it if we could keep generating mana. I also really like mana geysers. And it's like that kind of like that bit, or is mana geysers just
How much actual red are we, like, you know?
true? It's just you just use to pay for colorless, but then also I'm thinking maybe isn't it?
That's another storm card.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Morog's really busted, but we can't really use him to his full potential. I want to check the price of this. We're not playing it because it's actually not that good for us, but because we don't have any trick with it. Yeah, it's also $20.
It's
This
not.
is the most busted one, hands down. Combos with a million things. Bear Totem, Sword of Feast and Famine. It's so good. I don't think I like the Rebound one too much. I think the two we're playing is fine, and I think any more than that is bad. Because these are the two really good ones. Like, we could discard them to any of the cards that we play. Should we play Faithless Looting? I don't know how I feel about it, but... I mean, it does have flashback. Like, maybe there's other...
What about this
Wow,
card?
this is the only deck that I've actually talked myself into playing cantrips.
What
I
about
don't usually like playing cantrips in anything. You know that.
I know.
I'd rather play Harmonize over playing like a Serum Visions almost 100% of the time. But with the way that the deck's built, like if you listen to like Niv Mizzet is out and you're just gonna cast Serum Visions, like it's good. Like all the payoffs that you have, like that's like a really good way to do it. You know? My Paco deck's kind of like a more fair version of it. I'm like Nature's Lore, Kodama's Reach, or you know. Also, this is also an extra draw spell, which is nice. Do we want to play another one? Like, do we want
Well,
to play like Commander's Insight or like
well,
Blue
no.
Sun Zenith or anything?
Well, read this one card. See the Truth. This is one of those cards where if you're playing anywhere outside of your hand, it seems really good. So if it ends up being on top of your deck, you just get to draw 3. Or if you cast it from your graveyard, it's a draw 3.
I like that.
At worst, it's look at the top 3 and put a card into your hand.
No, I like that. I like that. Dude,
Also,
I want to play that Paco because I can cast it out of exile.
Also seems really good if you use the Mystic Sanctuary or whatever to put it back on top.
I think Mystic Sanctuary is going to be very good in this deck.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid we ever get
Tom, hear me out.
Magic ends. God forbid we ever get like an Academy Ruins version of like instant sorcery.
So Tom, hear me out.
I think that Magic would just end at that point.
Hear me out. We do the cheese. We play Cryptic Command to bounce our own Mystic Sanctuary to counter something, to replay Mystic Sanctuary, to put Cryptic Command back on top of our deck. Then we pass turn because our commander could play it from the top of our deck. We don't even have to draw it back into our hand.
I mean, we could also do the Archaeomancer Sublime Epiphany, but how many non-legendary creatures are we playing? 1, 2, 5. No, 6.
What about Narset of the Ancient Ways?
Oh, is that the Jeskai one?
Yeah, because she has mana for non-creature spells. You gain 2 life. Her ultimate can actually be kind of another way to win the game.
Cool.
I like her. Yo, do you want a cheesy Boros charm out of nowhere just to gank somebody with a double strike?
No,
I don't like that.
No. If we were gonna play something, it'd be Temur Battle Rage. I mean, that'd be funnier. Because that's double strike and trample.
Yeah. Drew said, "Did you guys hear that In the End by Linkin Park reached 1 billion streams on Spotify?" I believe it. I'm responsible for probably about 1,000 of those.
Jesus.
Do we want to run Return to Dust or no? Oh, Swan Song. Is Swan Song good for this?
I guess. I mean, it's a great card. I try to stay 2 away from like the really broken.
We have Cyclonic Rift in here. I don't want to hear it. Telling Time.
This is wrong. This is wrong.
Tom, what about Telling Time? Because it's look at the top 3. It says instant. Put 1 to your hand, 1 on the top of your library, 1 on the bottom. So it lets us set up the top a little bit.
I think we're good with that for now.
No, we need more.
We've got enough of the cantrips.
Do you want to run Emerged Unscathed to give our commander protection from a color? No, I don't like that.
I mean, we could just run Lightning Greaves and Swords, or the Swiftfoot.
Yeah, Sublime Epiphany, Tom. What are we doing?
Yeah, I said Sublime of 50.
Okay.
We have no way to abuse it though.
Yeah, it
Like
just becomes a good
no
spec.
Arcane Master.
Unless you'd rather run like something like Counter
Oh,
Flux.
speaking of that, speaking of copying things,
Yo, Tom, we could also play. If you want to start taking this out of control, we could play Enlightened Tutor to get any of our enchantments.
where's the fucking artifacts? How many enchantments? Five.
Do we care about how much do we care about these? Is it worth running?
Oh, totally.
It's one of those things where I was talking about where like if you run anything that's really good in your deck, like even like if you're running like a deck with 4 or 5 instances sorceries that solve the equation becomes such a good card because if they're all really good instances sorceries, you want to see them.
There's 4 really busted ones, and actually, no, it's worth it. Also, putting it on top, getting the play.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no loop with the Sensei stop right now.
Yeah, we do.
Let's start getting lit. No, we don't.
Birgi.
Oh yeah, Bergie. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
So yeah, that's the only one we have.
No, this too.
Oh, and yeah, all right, yeah, we do.
So if we have this and Bergie out, we double win. We make infinite red and infinite 1/1s. That's cool. Also, depending on if we have like Shark Typhoon, we also can. Oh, well, this doesn't work. That spells. Okay. This seems gross. All right, let's start getting lands in.
So, definitely probably need Reliquary Tower in this deck.
Yes. We also need to get the ramp in too. We haven't even done that.
Yeah.
So actually, we'll do that before the lands.
Yo, by the way, I like how you mentioned Linkin Park because I am straight up wearing a Linkin Park shirt today. Because in the end, it doesn't even matter. God, I miss him.
What's all the signets we can play? Is it signet?
It's Burrow Signet, Azorius. We also, I think we have all the talismans for this set too. Yeah, we do.
Well, everybody has talismans.
Right. It's just the Talisman of Progress. The blue-white one is like $12.
We'll play the 3 signets and the 3 talismans.
Because I like the talismans kit at worst tap for colorless. So it's creativity. Yeah, then it's creativity and conviction are the other two. Do you want to run Felwar Stone? Like 3-color deck. I think Felwar Stone will hit at least 1 or 2 colors. And maybe Thought Vessel?
All of Heliod's Generosity, because our enchantments are important. Even though we have 5 of them, it's still really good. And maybe the... What do you call it? The one that gets...
Oh, do you have Thought Vessel?
Oh, we need that. For sure.
And the other one, the Buried Ruins. Or would you want the Academy Ruins? The one that puts it on top?
That's what I was thinking. Just in case. Got a couple important things,
Yeah, no.
Plus, if you can play it, just play it. Like, it's really not the end of the world. So we got islands, plains. Before we get into the actual lands we're gonna play, just getting the basics out of the way. So that's that. Now the deck's gonna get expensive. Now that we're getting to the lands. So Steam vents.
Well, Command Tower, don't forget.
Command Tower, Exotic Orchard.
Sacred Foundry.
Hallowed
Fountain. Well, I haven't had to say Sacred Foundry in such a long time. Why don't we build more red-white decks?
Maybe if they're dinosaurs. Okay.
Did you want to build? Did you want to run the Triome?
Oh yeah, is there a Triumph on?
Yeah, it's RAUG. Grin Triome. Ragrin, whatever. Yeah, that's a word.
Do you feel like fetches are good in this to at least play like the couple because
If you want to run the 3 in this color, we could. It's honestly probably not like the worst, like Arid
just
Mesa. Well, actually, no,
go
it's
for it.
Scalding Tarn. Ugh.
Fine. I think it's worth it because I think you just want to play it because like the ability to shuffle.
Yeah, Arid Mesa.
Remember, they're getting reprinted, so they're gonna be like $50. So, and then
And then which ones are we missing? We have the red, white, blue, red,
flooded strand.
Flooded Strand.
And then do we just want to play like prismatic vista?
Yeah, we can do that.
To have a fourth that gets anything.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think that's fine. Cause it just gets us a basic, and we don't have to worry about just running like a random dual colored. Because at least it grabs us any basic in our color, not just like an island. At the very bottom. Very B.
no, son of. Know what I meant to do. There we go. Still $30.
Yep.
And there's the money. Okay, we're not even done, so
Yep.
we still have to add the battle bond ones.
All right, so training center is the red blue one,
and
which
then Sea of Clouds.
yeah, it's Sea of Clouds and then spectator seating. Sea of Clouds would probably be the expensive one. I'm surprised, I think Commander Legends had a lot more printing, so maybe that's why like the other ones aren't as much currently because it's like see they go to like 8, 9.
Well, because they came with Commander. Okay, two reasons. They came with the Commander booster, also, and more Commander Legends happened than the original Battle Bond.
Oh, do you want to run the Painlands?
Do we? Do we want to run those or the filters? I think we 100% want the filters because I look at Niv Mizzet and I'm like, Lord help us.
All right, so Cascade Bluff.
We could probably fit the Painlands also,
Then it's Mystic Gate.
and then forget about the buddies because we have the fetches.
Yeah, I don't.
Just play more basics.
Um,
What's the other one?
it's the what color are we doing? It's the
Red white, red white one.
red white is the. Uh, Rugged Prairie. It escaped me for a second.
And then the pains are.
Shivan Reef is the easiest,
Yeah,
the cheapest.
and then
It's Attakar Waste.
Yeah, Attakar waste. This is the expensive one.
Yeah.
And then the Boros one
Is Battlefield Forge.
Forge.
Yeah. Actually, that one may not be too much either. I think that one's had a lot of reprintings.
Okay, so that's 26 lands. Also, we have Salinity Vision, we have Seagate Restoration. Do we want to play anything else?
Would you want to run the Scry lands with this, considering our top kind of matters?
We have 26 lands currently. That would put us at 29, which would leave us with a decent amount of basics left.
And it's not like we have a lot. We're not in green. We're running like a bazillion ramp spells to pull out basics.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that the fetches aren't dead. Like we play too many. I think the temples are fine.
Well, we have the 3 fetches. We have the basics, and we have remember the Triome is searchable too.
Enlightenment, right? That's the
Yeah.
And then it's
Epiphany and Triumph. After that, I would just go basics.
Yes, especially considering we want to turn Mystic Sanctuary on. 29, so it's definitely highest on the islands.
Yeah, so
And then red, then white.
that's what I figured it'd be.
So, yeah. And it's so we're at 29, 2 MDFCs.
I won't call. Actually, no, we have 3.
So that's only 4 more
It's
basics.
Seagate,
Wait, what other?
Amaris,
Oh yeah, and the Amirias, yeah.
and Primal Aim. I don't really count because we can't play
So
it
then
as land.
maybe we don't want to play the temples and just want to play more basics.
Maybe we just take out the red white one then, because if blue is our primary color, we just take that one out. I think that's fine.
And maybe this.
Maybe the filter isn't as important with red white.
No, I think we. Maybe we just cut these. I don't know. Like maybe
I
we
just
just
really
want to make
like
sure.
them for setting up our top, or at least changing our top.
I just want to make sure we have enough islands
I think
because
we will.
we have the 3. I feel like Mystic Sanctuary is going to be hard to
Oh,
use. Otherwise.
true, because we only have. Okay, maybe. I would rather.
Yeah,
I would at first, like honestly, I have issues with like at times with the filter lands.
but I think in a 3 color with as heavy like pips as we're playing, like
Hmm.
I think it'll be fine. I've never had as many issues. My only issue with the filter lands sometimes is if it's like your turn 2 that you're trying to do, like then it's really hard to make the mana that you want. But usually it's like perfect at fixing. So we're playing 3 of the.
So we need 7 more lands.
So it's probably gonna be 20 points, like 2, and then mountain.
So that's 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's
No, because remember we need to add 7 more, not counting the 3 that were there.
so then maybe like that 2
34,
and
35, 36. That's 30, 37, maybe.
oh, that's 37. Oh, so
34, 35, 36. Yeah, that's 37 currently.
so then 2, 3, and 5.
I think that works. Yeah.
Because we're still decently low on red. Like we have this, but like our red sources are in the fact that we can fetch for our shocks and
Hmm.
our triome pretty reasonably. Uh, we have 5. 3. We have 8. Okay, we're still playing like 10 basics, so that's fine. So then prismatic is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
13
just like the.
cuts.
Okay, so I like the ability to just fix the land issue. So yeah, we are playing 3 MDFCs. I feel like we don't need to play Isochron, right? Like this is
No, I
just.
think that was just a cute idea. Maybe we take out the stuff that goes with it then.
Yeah, no, dramatic reversal already wasn't in there. I cut it.
Then do you
It
still
was
want to run Narset's reversal?
no, we don't need Narset's reversal. Well, Narset's reversal, yeah, but that was cute with Taveri's rejection, but no, we don't need that wherever that is.
Above, yeah, there is.
It is a cool card even when you're playing it with draw, but you know.
I'm still not a huge fan of double visions.
I like this card. I love it. Like even if you're just like ponder on my turn and then draw, and especially now that we have a lot of cantrips that we're actually going to be playing on our turn, I think the card's good. I've
It's
never had problems with double visions.
I just like constant copy that instead of one time copy.
it isn't one time because it's also off your turn. Like you play cantrip on your turn, you do
Yeah,
like
I
what you're gonna
guess.
do,
I guess
and
it's a
then
little bit better because we get flash off the top of our deck,
mm,
so it's a bit better.
but yeah, even all these are all the 14 sorceries are alive.
Um, I
And
might.
we did put so many low cost in cantrips
Mm,
that we're gonna use this twice. Like we're gonna play a ponder or serum vision and then even counterspell something and maybe even opt or brainstorm. Like we're gonna use it multiple times.
um,
As long as you play this card correctly,
I
it is very powerful.
with the with the.
Oh yeah, you want to cut
No, I'm
this?
sorry. No. Oh yeah, we get. You want to cut that? Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, we don't need that.
With the Saheeli, I actually think young Pyromancer gets a little bit worse because it's only instants and sorceries, and she's non-creature spells.
Great.
And I think the less
So
I think the less creatures the better in this kind of deck, and she kind of takes his place.
maybe I should play this over young pyromancer and Paco Haldan.
And I don't think we'll ever use. I don't think her negative ability is gonna be too relevant. You know, it actually could be really funny. No, I was gonna say, could we make it into a copy of like a primal amulet? It won't
The
flip.
only problem with Saheeli over young pyromancer is Saheeli can get attacked, but if we're protecting it well, I guess
Yeah,
that's the only reason I would like young pyromancer a little bit more
but
over. But
But
I don't know.
if we get any of our creatures in play, they're just gonna immediately make blockers, and she makes blockers too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I like both of those. I think if you actually get to alter, that's gonna win the game. I think our rocks are still good because they also trigger our commander, and we can play them off the top.
I don't know how I feel about
No, I
this.
think we could take that one out. That's just an extra. That's just cute.
This is good. This is one of our main win cons.
Yeah, we're not doing a Jace or
We could
Lab
probably
Man.
cut down on some of the removal, like maybe this,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
uh, maybe like yeah. See that's the problem with the like Bergie thing, is like we don't have a good win con once we have to have something that's like a Niv Mizzet or something.
Yeah, Bergie kind of comes into just doing the reducer in a sense. Count it as like a colorless reducer because every time if you cast a spell, it makes the 1 mana, so your next spell will technically, in a sense, cost 1 less because it pays for 1 of it, and then that spell you cast will also make a mana. So
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
so
I
it's
still like this. I like this.
mm,
Brainstorm gets even better now that we put the fetch lands in.
yeah.
Uh,
Also, it's a good way to get stuff on top of our deck if we want to like cast it with our commander instead. That's actually a really interesting thing where you could instant speed brainstorm to put a sorcery on top of your deck and or something.
well, we just don't play those immediately. Like we don't just put Vault and Mana Crypt in like everything.
He says, "Why play those rocks over Crip and Vault just for money's sake?" Yeah, we try not to just go full blown out. We kind of have,
Also, the more colors you play, the worse those cards get anyway.
yeah, because when you're saying is
Like,
like as cool
what
as
is
they
Mana Crypt going to do for your commander? Like, cast it once and you're never going to untap it for the rest of the game?
also look at like Niv Mizzet. Like Niv Mizzet is really strong. There's a lot of heavy cost and mana stuff.
Like, the same thing with Mana Crypt. Like, I get Soul Ring is a strong card and Mana Crypt are strong, but the more colors you get, the worse they get. Also,
We
they're
also
easier.
we've also been trying to like for the most part anyway, in a general sense, not just run every like high powered $100 card in a deck just for the sake of it, because then it's like I don't know. It kind of takes away some of the soul of making a certain deck feel like a deck. Like we kind of had the issue where, like with the Simic commander we made the other day, where like we could replace this commander with any of the commanders in the deck, and it would be the same, minus like 4 cards.
It's true.
So it's kind of why we're trying to build more towards what the commander does, and like not just throw like because we could straight up throw okay force of negation, pact of negation, manage rain into this deck, and it'd be like bonkers. But like I don't know, then like what makes it different from just like any 3 color Simic expensive deck? Not Simic, Jeskai. At least this gives it's like more in like I guess you could say a high power range, but not like. I think that what we like to do is like there's a mix between like a fun and high powered, and there's a spectrum in between. I think
True.
I think we mentioned Jessica's Will. I don't know. Did we put Jessica's Will in?
No, we
Oh,
weren't. We weren't super
oh,
feeling
you know
it.
what? Because
It's just like all the blue spells are just so much better. And we're not a storm deck, so what are we gonna do with the red mana really? Like we barely play any red spells. Like the only thing I could see Jessica's Will doing is on like a turn that maybe we want to Savage Beating Reiterate, like and make a million fucking mana in one turn. But like we don't look like we're a deck that's really gonna be able to do that reliably. Like we're not gonna see them all the time, even though we're playing like the two tutors for them. Like I just think that that card, as far as like compared to the blue, is just not as good.
also second point is our commander works better with the cards on top of our deck because we could play things at like with flash like instant speed that aren't meant to. While Jessica's Will, you have to like do the appropriate thing. So like if we hit like a mana rock, if we hit like a sorcery and a land and a like 2 sorceries and an artifact off the top, our commander could have just played them as compared to them having them sit in exile, and now we have to wait to play them.
Is this still good, even though we have no good recursion? Like, other than maybe like 2 cards that can play things?
Um,
Or do we just care more about the low-costed ones? Or
maybe,
because this is an instant, like...
but then our whole deck is technically instant with our commander.
But, like, what if they... Like, what if it's like this and this? Or, like, you know, these cards that we're never going to get back, like, in piles, you know?
Well, then we pick the pile that we want, though.
Right, but, like, let's say they pick... Okay, like, let's say it's like Niv Mizzet, you know, this is like a shot in the dark, and like fucking Swarm Intelligence or Shark Type. Actually, we have Hall of Helions for that stuff, but...
Yeah, so think of it this way, Tom. It's like it's like getting we're getting value into our hand from it, and it's our choice. So even if we don't get the other card, it could be equivalent of it being at the bottom of our deck and never getting it, and we're still just getting value out of the card itself. So we factor fiction to at probably worse to get 1 to 2 cards, and
Yeah,
and if it's
all
a
right. I'm thinking I want to cut some counter spells then, like maybe either the Unwind or the Stolen Song, because we ended up putting a lot more.
yeah, maybe Sublime Epiphany isn't as good if we can't use all aspects of it. I know it's still just kind of good, but it's also it gets real
No,
expensive.
I do agree, and I feel like this one's kind of degenerate. Like I feel like Swan Song's one of those like complain about counter spells. I don't know. I mean, it is like a lot of money now. Look at that.
It's also that version.
No.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's still $18. You know.
It's in Sorcery and Enchantment though. Like
One.
we have a 1 mana Dispel common 50 cents that does the same thing. All it does, whatever, is just it adds uh enchantment to it, and it gives them a bird.
Maybe cutting one of the draw spells like Opt.
Actually, I would prefer Deep Analysis.
Really? Well, Deep Analysis does the double trigger though.
Yeah, but like I think we want to
That's
care
why.
about top more, and like I like Chemister's Insight because actually maybe I like actually deep analysis more than Chemister's.
I think I like those both just because it's double instant sorcery triggers. That's why I play them also. It's just having something that double triggers on its own without having to work for it is good.
Hmm.
Like, which is why I think it's better. Like, we have so many cantrips and draws now. I think Opt is the worst one. Or maybe the compulsive research.
Or
Like,
or maybe
compulsive research.
looking at mana cost of stuff. Maybe again it comes to the thing where like Electromancer isn't as good because a lot of it doesn't do anything towards the 1 drops. And we have a lot of 1 drops. We have a
Yeah, no,
few things that aren't. I don't think we need that many reducers, especially one that's a creature. At least the
yeah.
artifact and the enchantment, and at least Baral has a second side to him.
Hmm. But yeah, I'm still thinking that Opt is the worst one out of
Yeah,
all of
because
them.
it's only one, so we could bump that one out.
Yeah, like I think that and Serum Visions are the worst, but at least Serum Vision Scries too. You
Hmm.
know, that's nice. Like it's a little bit of top deck. Like I know Op does it before, but like I think Serum Visions is better. And like I probably maybe even argue that Compulsive or Serum are like cuts. Because I think I even like this card more, the See
I think
the Truth.
no, yeah, I think I'd cut compulsive because I'd rather just like the untap one that we have. I
Yeah,
like.
Frantic Search is definitely a lot better. Because you could get into shenanigans where you're copying that.
Yep. I
You know,
especially you know you could do is once you have Primal Amulet flipped and you have a copy of it and you so you use it to untap Primal Amulet twice because you tap and float a mana and you remember that mana that's floating will copy a spell. Yeah, I've done that a bunch.
oh, it's funny. If we had another card like Mystic Sanctuary, we could actually, or Mystic Reflect, the one that adds a card back. Uh, we could actually loop those cards. If we had another card that adds an instant or sorcery back, like other than Mystic Retrieval, we could actually loop those cards if we had enough mana. That'd be kind of funny. Uh, so we're at 103. I still like this. I still like all the other cantrips, really.
Do we? How much ramp are we running? Do you think it's too much?
10. No, this is
Okay.
the amount. It's 10. I count it. Not counting this, and I'm not counting the Burgie because I don't count that.
No.
It's 10 sources ramp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly.
Um,
I think that we don't want to run any less than that, or else like these 7 mana spells are gonna feel like a nightmare.
um, do we? I'm actually starting to wonder. Do we care about extra combats? Is it? Does that just win us the game, or is it just like we're gonna come to our turn and we just end up punching them anyway?
I I think that they're good. Like, because the thing is like this is our best win
Yeah.
con overall. Uh,
Because if we're
but
going,
I do think that we're punching, and I think having the two is good because these are the best ones. This one's really good. Like I'd be hard to. Obviously, I think the retrace one is the better one, but
mm,
I I uh I just feel like the double strike also like
because here's my one thing is like a lot of our instances of sorceries give us immediate return almost immediately, or our control options. Those early game become dead weight until they're good, as compared to cards that are just good or help us our like strategy. And that's where I'm like kind of
yeah, but this
iffy
is
on
the
them.
same thing. This is the same thing. Is like sometimes you just need to play the win cons. Like I play Chandra's Ignition in Paco Haldan, which is dead for like 90% of the game, but then eventually it's just dealing 58 damage out of nowhere. Like sometimes you
Mm.
just gotta play him to
But
do it.
that's also because you pump. But that means that's the spell on its own, though. Like those cards revolve around your board, which I do know we can make a lot of tokens and punch really hard with them. I don't know, just if looking for cuts, like I don't want to cut too many. I don't know.
Because
Hmm.
I know this is the better one. Like if we're fighting between, I don't know, but this gives double strike also, and this is an instant.
Now, were those the only reason I would say maybe keeping them is with double visions, they become really good.
Well, no, because the problem is with this is you it's not like a stack thing that this is the problem that I have with relentless assault. This is why Morog is so good, is because Morog is the only one that works with multiple triggers and like gives you extra untaps. Every other copy spell, it gives you an additional combat but doesn't untap them. Because the way that it
Hmm.
works is you cast both spells, you get two combats, but the untap is part of the first effect, and you've already resolved that twice. So you
Okay, I
don't
get
get to
you.
untap them twice. Yeah, so
Right.
that's why I play Relentless Assault as a one of, just to have it for times that like, I want to use it. But like the problem is copying them is not that
Yeah,
great.
I see what you mean. And Drew's asking, so is this a token deck? I'm confused. I'm seeing a lot of spell slinging and card draw. So is it winning by swinging? I'm so confused. Well, yeah, because those are your payoffs. So what you do is your spells help you control the game, keep the game. You also have Approach the Second Sun is how we also win. But all those creatures, we just sit there and we control the board. We make it like so any other strategy isn't really doing anything, and we end up just flooding the board. Like I have a similar deck that's just that's with that's Sultai colored with what's her face, Damia, and all it does is just play control spells, clearing the boards, ramp, and basically the same blue kind of value spells. And I end up winning a lot. Actually, the deck hasn't lost yet, just because I just sit there and say no. That's dead. Counter this, draw this, or loop this, and every time I do, I'm making a creature, or I'm drawing cards out of it. And so, yeah, it's a spell slinger, but your spells need to have a payoff, or you're just kind of going card for card, which is
I
really
think we could
hard to do. Yeah, we could take
because
out an
like I think
unwind.
we're playing almost 10 counter spells right now.
Yeah. So
Let me just
going one for one against three other people gets really hard. So when you have all those value things, like you care less now about counterspelling a creature because you'll make more blockers if it doesn't have trample. It's like cool, you make a 30-30. I'm gonna make a one like 3/1/1s before it gets to my turn. I really don't care about that. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna try and give it trample and double strike. You're like, cool. I'm gonna counter it, and that's where the counter comes in, and you start filling up your board. Like, and you just kind of dig until you hit approach the second sun, which also we could fucking get with um, solve the equation, because that's fun. God, solve the equation's a card.
yes. We did put the reliquary tower, right?
Did you want to get rid of Unwind?
I'm just debating if it's worth it. I'm just like, we have like 9 counter spells right now.
Actually, maybe not, because here's the thing: it stops non-creature spells, which on 99% of those times are going to be things that we could deal with other
We have
spells.
3 of those.
You know what? Actually, maybe get rid of negate, because at least Unwind untap stuff, which is cute.
Okay, I'm cool with that. We have the Dovin's Veto also, so.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Dovin's Veto is really solid.
yes.
So yeah, so stuff with like like Shark Typhoon, Metallurgic Summoning, the creature ones like Deka, Talrand, the Locust God, Niv Mizzet, because kills people,
You also get
K-Car.
to play some that we don't even get to play, like
Yeah,
Kaikar's. Kaikar's insane.
yeah.
Yeah, and also getting to play. Wait! I didn't put it in. Where's the whirlwind? Oops. I didn't even put it in. What an idiot. What a dingus.
Oh wow, yeah, that, yeah, 100%. That card's so good.
Hmm?
So your spells become part of your engine that make your few creatures really, like the creatures that you do play, like really good.
Hmm?
Because you could,
So yeah. So the basically you're playing a control deck that gets value off of making the game go to a turn where you're just gonna murder everybody.
mhm.
Because the thing is like interaction is one of the best things in Commander right now. Like we're starting to see people play less board wipes and more one-piece interaction just to hit the important piece and then make the game go on.
Mhm.
Because people don't just lose to a lot of just like one card like effects. And if they do play something insane like the Smothering Tithe, the Ristic Start, or anything like that, you counterspell it, and then you get to either draw or make a shark or make an XX construct or draw and make a locust or deal a damage and get to draw 3 cards or make a spirit, and then eventually you have like 30 tokens in play and you cast one of these that gives you an extra combat, and like you retrieve it with mystical retrieval and copy the mystical retrieval and get something else back or flash it back and then do this again. Like the only problem that this deck might have is that there's no mana doublers really, so like it might be hard to cast some of the like a lot of the spells in succession, because the ramp is not as amazing as like a deck that gets to play green.
But we could, that could get fixed if we played
Wait,
like
what's stopping you from playing both Niv Visits? Because the other one's not great.
because we're not running the combo with it. See, Niv Mizzet is whenever a player casts instant sorcery, you get to draw a
Yeah,
card,
the
and
other
so
the
then
other one's so much worse.
yeah,
The
because
other one is only when you draw it deals the damage and you tap it to draw. This one can't be countered, has flying. It says whenever you draw, you get to deal one to any target, and then whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, including you, you draw a card.
and
This is like broken as shit.
here's the other thing. Like when you're playing a spell slinger deck, you try and get as few amount of creatures that,
Yeah,
because
11.
there is really easy to dump like 30 creatures that have effects that are good with spells, but now you don't have room for spells. Like you're predominantly a spell deck, and you get some of just the best things that go with it. Because we
We're
get,
playing 36 instant sorceries.
mm-hmm. And considering we're also like, we're actually a non-creature deck, not just spells, because we have other effects that like Sahili, or like the Daka, or Birgi, or the
I
Shark
don't know how
Typhoon.
good Bergie's gonna be, really.
Well, that was just because it's for the if we're doing
I think
the
we could
Sensei
leave
stop.
it cute with this occasionally. I just think Bergie's not good enough on its own for this deck. Like, just making like, what are you gonna do when you like ponder and you're like, okay, I got a red pass, I'm gonna leave counter spells up. Like,
Yeah,
I don't see it being as good in this build.
yeah, true. Birgi was meant more if we were trying to go harder on the
Yeah, the Sensei's top.
yeah.
Like, we can leave it as a cute thing sometimes when it happens with Kaikar, or we could just cut the top. Like, but I just think top is so broken with this deck.
No, I think that's the one money card that's just too good. And it's not like top is by itself like overly broken. I just think it's just really good in this kind of deck. She goes to 5 the turn she comes out, though. Like, I don't think you'd ever use her for their negative. I think you just try and get to 6. I don't know. I still think I really like her.
Yeah, it's cute, I guess. Uh,
And it's also kind of ends up becoming a source of ramp, and we get any color and get the gain life. And at worst, we could also just use her effect to like nuke something, kind of. I guess if you really don't like her, we don't have to run her.
No, I think she's okay. I don't think she's doing a lot other than her ultimate. That's it.
Hmm.
Like she's really only her ultimate, and is that worth it over
Or her,
everything we have?
or her
Because we're having
plus.
a lot of hard time. But making the mana, I don't.
I mean, one mana could be a big difference considering we are playing a lot of like one mana color spells. And we have a bunch of ramp. I don't know. I guess
You know,
if you,
she's not terrible. I don't know.
but then again, it's also only 2 damage to a target, not each.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
If it was everybody, I think it would be way
Or if
better.
it was like 5, like if it was like Chandra, like that one Chandra, you know. Like I don't think we need her. Okay, so one more card. I forgot about this, so that's
Yeah.
why we're up a card again. Uh,
Maybe we just keep the retrace one. I think we're going for the big multi attack. I think we'll have enough. I don't know if double strike is going to be like the matter of winning or losing, that like killing that person.
but an instant though.
Well, it's only instant because you have to do it instant because you only play it during your combat.
But just having one though.
I don't know.
Because like we don't get to play any good anthems, like
Or
unless we're gonna play like that enchantment that gives tokens +1/+1 in vigilance.
no,
Like,
there. No, Tom.
what,
We play Elishnorn.
what about Cathar's Crusade?
Nah, I don't really. I don't think we need that kind of stuff, honestly. Or because we already have 2 copy abilities, maybe reiterate. I know you really like that card, but like I really like the Swarm
No,
Intelligence and Double Visions and
well,
expansion, and Ral does it too.
expansion only hits 4 or greater. I mean, mm,
Because Ral also copies, and we also have Lithoform Engine, and we also have if when we flip Tau the Primal Amulet. So it's like the one time, unless you want to buy it back, copy as good as those. Because we actually have a lot of copy potential in this deck already.
not really. It's just the double vision. These
Double.
aren't gonna come. These aren't gonna come for a while too. Like I think also this hits their stuff.
So we have Double Vision, Swarm Intelligence, Ralsric, Expansion Explosion, and Primal Amulet.
This is not a good one though
But
because it only hits 4 or greater.
But the thing is, if are we gonna play 3 mana into a big spell that's gonna take a lot of mana half the time?
Well, like the take, well,
Yeah.
we can't really copy those, but I don't know.
Because we have 5 currently, not counting Reiterate.
There is a lot of time where like I'm like generous gifting and reiterating but buyback, but I guess we're not making as much mana, so I guess this card's not as good. Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine.